Hello, welcome back again, everyone. The Space Marines are here, and I'm ready to start destroying them. That is the hope anyway. Although, considering I am not well versed on what to expect, well, I took a quick look at some of their light cruisers there, but I have not seen anything else aside from that, so all I really know is that they're well armored, they have low hit points in comparison, and well, I'm looking at the wrong type of ships. I was looking at light cruisers, so yeah, they have less health compared to my light cruisers, so they rely heavy on armor, but they sacrifice in a little bit of health, so I am thinking more on the type of cruiser I want, so I'm either want something like fighters, which with the torpedoes will negate most of that, I think. So I think this Devastation class ship will be good. It just doesn't have much range for like its missile pods and that, so that's a little bit unfortunate, I gotta say. Would have liked to kept with the theme of the long range. And then we have this one here, which has crazy contraptions like prow lance batteries, which I have no idea what that is. Not to mention the fact it's on the prow, so I don't trust that. So we'll stick with the Devastation for now, which is expensive as hell, I might add. Wow. Maybe I'm not going to get to see much use of this, but I'm going to take it regardless. And we're going to start fading this thing out, because this is going to be pretty potent and it'll fit with what I have for the rest of my ship so far. So, what do I need? Well, I really got enough beacons as is, so I shouldn't need any more for a time being anyway. And stasis bomb will be good for when they start getting close for pretty much any ship. And otherwise, micro warp jump could be useful for when things start getting there, but I'd rather use it for more aggressive play now that I think of it. Which actually be pretty good. Once they're whittled down enough, I could jump in there. The only problem is I don't think this ship is capable enough for close range fire, is it? It only has like a single macro turret and a missile pod, which isn't really all that scary. So I'm going to continue on with the beacons there, I guess, actually. To keep with the spotting, give me vision there, if possible, locking on to a ship. So we'll see how this works out. I got unlucky, I feel like, with the light cruisers, but now that I'm starting to get access to the actual cruisers there that don't have the generic like long range weaponry there, is kind of more hybridish, I'm starting to second guess myself. But we're going to put this to the test, and with the Space Marines now out, and this being a brand new patch, we shall see if the game decides to crash on me or is buggy as hell. You're going to witness it live, folks, as we put this new ship to the test. And thankfully all my light cruisers at least got a match in and got leveled up, so they are still pretty effective for at least having only 2 missions worth put in. And we got this thruster here for my lance battery, which will be good for outmaneuvering and harassing relatively safely, I want to think. Still remains to be seen if that's the most ideal situation, but I'm willing to bet my opponent is probably going to be Space Marines in some form. High likeliness. Come on, what do we get? Attacker, show your true colors. Yep, Space Marines. Is anyone surprised? And this gives a good opportunity to show off my new Devastation Cruiser here. And what do I have with it there? Like I said before, this thing emphasizes Space Marines, and at least their light cruisers emphasize a lot on armor. So lances are going to be effective at slowly whittling them down. At least that's the size, as well as fighters, because they actually lack defensive fighters, I think. What kind of points does it put me at, though? Yeah, I can't put in a regular Hellbringer, because then I wouldn't be able to get a frigate of any kind to support me, so this is what I'm going to do. At least this way it gives me an extra ship a little bit extra power, and I was not paying attention to the mission type. That's another fault of mine. It looks like we're getting a laggy as hell match, so this is going to be amusing. Where it's going to benefit me or hinder me is hard to say. Because yeah, look at that warping. This not from my PC, I'm telling you folks. Whoa. This is going to be one of those matches, huh? We're going to be doing time warps and everything. Ah, my. Server's broke, or it's just under a lot of strain. Take your pick. It's probably both the same thing. Yeah, 255 milliseconds, so that is quite significant. Wow. This is amusing. Let's try this again. Well, I'm a loss for words for what just happened there. Although it's to be expected, it does not help with what I have in mind. So let's try this again. Sadly, I did not get an easy level out of that, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And did I seriously go into a match immediately? That's interesting. Let's see, do I get the same opponent again? Convoy attacker. Now I'm the attacker here. Space Marines again. I have no clue if that was the same person or not I'm fighting against. But due to the amount of points I feel like to get the most value, I'm going to have to take this formation here, because taking a Hellbringer with the fighters will leave me a little more restricted, I want to say. Although these missile pods aren't necessarily effective. I kind of frankly would like torpedoes. So I could downgrade to a regular cruiser and get some torpedoes that way. That is a possibility. Because this devastation alone would give me the 40 points I need for an extra cruiser, but I wouldn't be able to get much else. Wouldn't be able to get a second one at least. Oh well, I'll stick true to this for now. But yeah, torpedoes are another thing I can do, but considering how mobile I think Space Marines are, because if they're true to the concept, the lore, and how they are in the actual 40k tabletop, they are very resilient, very powerful, got the best gear, but of course, that means they are more expensive. I don't know how much more as far as the upper class there. I just know the cruisers were like 115 points about. Varied a bit based on what equipment they had, of course, but I don't know if just yet if just 10 points on there is enough. We will find out personally. And the roles have switched. Which I guess I should be thankful for, maybe. If I fail to destroy those things with my lance batteries, though, I could be in trouble. And I'm forced, sort of, to deploy in the middle of the map. So you can kind of predict that. It's just a matter of how likely is he going to go on the left there, because I can't just do a hard left turn. I kind of have to go around the asteroid field, which puts me a little bit closer. If anything, this frigate can just harass maybe one of them. I seriously doubt it can kill him unless I commit kamikaze, but that is a possibility, so I think this might be what I do. It's going to be hard to kill him, especially when a mine's right in front of me. Okay, that's interesting. He's going for all-in type of strategy. I can stasis bomb. I can at least detect them relatively easily. I sadly have only beacons on the ground there, as opposed to, yeah, the mobile one, which would actually be kind of convenient here. But let's see, torpedoes. So I'm not really afraid of that so much. I gotta watch where these torpedoes going. That is definitely a cruiser. So this is a ship I am not well versed in. So what are we looking at here? I can dodge those easily enough. Second torpedoes. That one's a cruiser and they're coming right at me. So I want to at least be able to detect them. That's what I like to do first. I am isolated, which means he might be tempted to go after me. Let me detect it first and shoot. Can I get both of them? That's the big problem. We got a strike cruiser and a regular vanguard. And this frigate is going to attempt to backdoor the transport ships. Unlikely. I'm going to try for it though. He might be tempted to turn around since I don't see him. Come on, you stupid thing. There's a reason I want you moving. So I could probably dodge this relatively well, especially if turrets actually shoot something. And I actually did successfully manage to stop it there, but he is boosting the transport show. They need to be priority. I can intercept, so I do have that going for me. So lightning strike was successful there, whatever that means. Was that identified? I don't think it was yet. So you are going to flank back door. And my boosters are about to get weakened here, so can I ram? That would be ideal. There goes half the health immediately. And I could potentially kill this thing quickly. Potentially. So this is probably going to hurt a bit, so those things will be in a stasis bomb, but I just need to kill one more. That's the only trick. Thankfully I managed to dodge that thing. And I'm going to take those torpedo hits. If I could have maneuvered a little bit better, that would be good. But actually, damage is pretty negligible. And did I repair? No, I didn't, so negate those fires. So, bombers are going. I don't know how much damage they did, but I want to turn this transport around. I don't know how likely that is. Because as it stands right now, I'm shooting at the thing. And I am kind of helping him with a bit of a little unfortunate event. Perfect. Victory. A little anticlimactic since I wasn't really focused on fighting the Space Marines, but that went relatively well. I managed to outmaneuver him a little bit. I don't think my frigate did as much as I would like trying the back door, considering I don't think those transports had really vulnerable armor in the rear to even justify it, but the technique sounded nice. It's just hard to say if that was the most ideal strategy. But I'm happy with the results, and that's all that matters. Now, let's get the level up, let's see the XP, and let's start upgrading the slaughter. As mobile you are, Space Marines, and powerful as you are, I can still be mobile too. And in a situation where you're not the priority, I can at least keep you distant for a little bit. And thankfully, those torpedoes did not do as much damage as I kind of was worried about. Now, what the hell do I upgrade? Warp Talon, what? Oh, those are fighters. Probably. General case, I follow through with my cooldown reduction. I think. Although this is really mixing all different areas. It's got lances, it's got fighters. Probably the lances and fighters are like my main source, but they benefit from off two different traits, so really hard to judge what I want to upgrade. Fighters seem really potent if used properly though, so I think I want to continue through with that theme. Ooh, new upgrade there. That just reduces any boarding attempts on me, I guess. Unless that's from when I board them. I don't know, that sounds really confusing how it's worded. Unless it's for both cases, it just says it reduces enemy troop value. Nonetheless, promising first round. Let's give it another go. Let's continue on this massacre of Space Marines, even though technically I was not focused on Space Marine ships. So I don't know if you can call that a humiliation or massive destruction of them just yet. Now, Space Marine number 2. Come on, bring it. Aww. Orcs technically count as Space Marines, right? Considering they're all about... Well, really? No, they're not. Orcs like to get in your face. And you can't really blame them. But what I need most is lots of boardings, and I want mobility. Torpedoes will be really handy as well. Because of all the health there. If I can somehow get fires and direct damage. I don't know if that's the smartest choice. I just know orcs are really vulnerable to fire. And negating the shields entirely because of the amount of damage that they're going to be taking should be a plus. And plus, I can run directly away from them and still be able to attack them with my fighters at least. So I do have that going for me, whereas lance batteries and our weaponry are kind of limited by their arc. And I got lots of positions here to kind of engage. Ideally, I would like to stay as close to the middle as I can, so that way I don't get cornered, because that's the real risk, getting cornered, where they can gain ground on me just because I have no room to maneuver. And also, I do want to spread a tiny bit in case of torpedoes, just a tiny bit. I still want them grouped up so they can focus fire effectively, but if they are packing a lot of torpedoes, at least I don't have to worry as much about maneuvering multiple ships for it. That's the thought process anyway. And the beacons allow me to detect and start damaging them immediately. Although, really, I don't think having a beacon there would have made much difference aside for actually if it opened up an opportunity for where I could kill one of the Space Marine ships, possibly, because of all the free shots I got in. But since they weren't the focus, doesn't matter, and they got 3 ships, so this looks very likely like a cruiser, light cruiser, and maybe a frigate, considering orcs are generally cheaper than most. That's my assumption. Now, the tricky part is how do I fight them? I probably stay really close to these asteroid fields, because that way they can't come straight at me unless they want to take asteroid field damage, which is going to be really negligible, pretty minor, but at least it's additional damage that negates the shields, and traditionally he's probably going to try and maneuver around him. Not having the ability to quickly turn, that works well for me. Now I just need vision. And I think with how clumped they are, I may want to torpedo them. If I can get it without hitting that building. It's only 2 torpedoes, so I doubt it's going to scare him that much.
Ready eternally.
But I can at least get myself positioned for good flanking attempts. The closer I am to the middle, the more room I have to maneuver. I just got to make sure I'm not wedged against this asteroid field. That's the only risk at the moment. That's the only real risk I need to be careful of.
Ready eternally.
So, what's the orc doing here? Well, he's dodging torpedoes easily enough. That wasn't really a hard task. Unless that happened to hit. No way to really tell. Honestly, no way to tell. So, can I get ready to... I can get pretty close to shooting them. And I have Ornus base here, 9,000 yard range. And I am get a good position here. I may want to go around this asteroid field, to be honest. I am scared a little bit about pushing back too far again, because that puts me closer to the border.
Just show us something to kill.
And I could detect them at least, so
Your orders.
Let's start doing that. And if he wants to boost away, that's fine. Well, he's going to boost into me once he gets an opportunity. So 2 light cruisers, 3 light cruisers, that's potentially even worse. But let me watch how they are maneuvering. That's all I need to do. And I like to hang around here, because he has to maneuver around it, and he is boosting. Well, that was amusing. So, can I get a torpedo off the force movement? I don't know if latency gave me an accurate shot there. I should have waited till it held still first. This is going to be a slow, long, drawn-out fight, especially since these cruisers are all favored with Novacans. I need to point that out. They are packing Novacans. Good thing I spotted that now before he started using them on me, because I need to spread out. There, it's unfortunate I had to break that, but I can still run silent easily enough, so that's not a big risk. Now, he's not able to know where I am until I start firing. And he can't shoot back at me, not like that's a big deal. Now, turn around, start firing. Yep, running silent. So, blood axes, that's fine. I don't need to hit him, I just need a rough idea where he's at. And besides, I also got a probe for that. If only a temporary one, maybe that was a mistake.
Just show us something to kill.
So blood axes, they're not really that scary. It's just the Novacan that could be problematic. So, this is going to be interesting. Shield broke immediately. So I can... Let's see, that doesn't really have anything, but he could not get a boring attempt, which is actually quite a big deal. And I already used my, my running silence, so that's not a big deal, but I do need to be careful in Novacan. That is a possibility, and we got another Basha coming in, which... Okay, that was a whiff. That is unfortunate. I thankfully can repair it. There is still a 25% chance that the Novacans break. So long as I can weather it, they're eventually going to break. That without a doubt. And that one's not favored, but is vulnerable. So, I don't have any lances actually, I just realized, but I do have lots of fighters. Not the lances would be very good for this situation anyway, I just realized. I was under the assumption maybe I had like the hybrid set. And they still have Novacans and they're under a minute cooldown.
Just show us something to kill.
So the flagship took some damage, and I'm about to get in our torpedoes, so let's have some fun with that, shall we? And he's repairing, he's blowing his repairs. Not that there's anything I could do about that. Because this is one of the times I wish I had melta torpedoes. So he still's got them there. I am taking some damage, so I think the main idea now is to try to get further away. I think I really don't have much choice for that one at least. Because otherwise it's going to eventually die in Novacans if they're not going to break.
Just show us something to kill.
So if he wants it, he has to come get it.
Come on, me.
Okay, he is going to come for it, so...
Brace.
He is going to come for it, he's just got to try for it. And I am going to get a torpedo in. And the flagship's pretty much gone. I don't care about, as much as I would like to destroy it. It's probably not the smartest thing to try to go for blood. Even though my ship could kill it if enough of them hit. It's gone, perfect.
Ready eternally.
Just whittle them down. It's very uneventful, I do admit. But tactically, this is probably the proper strategy because those orcs will murder me the moment I get in too close. That is a real risk, and I have to take it so seriously. So, gonna board, try and do some damage, and now we can go in for the killing blow. You tried to get the kill, and it didn't work out, thankfully for me. That could have easily gone horribly wrong. And I don't think that torpedo's well aimed.
Ready eternally.
But now I'm in a position to start shooting this thing. I just, again, have to be careful about it ramming. That's still a big risk. Can I repair? Yeah, I can repair. So let's start mitigating a lot of this damage. And save my boarding attempts. Oh boy. That may have been a mistake. Letting that, run out of his boosters. Because I am getting bored, but that was on my frigate. Not a big deal.
Brace.
So brace for impact. Try and go again for the killing blow here. At least try to. I got only heavy cans and lots of fire, so it is going to be a little bit slow. But with lock on, at this range, it should help a lot with the increased accuracy. And bombers are about to come up. And I should focus all fire. Whoops. That wasn't me. I thought it was at first, but nope, I'm good. Wow, that heavy can did some serious damage. Yeah, I kind of had no choice but to do that, otherwise he was going to ram it and kill it. I didn't really have much choice there, I think. It is going to escape. My ship did survive. It is going to be out for next match, barring like repair. What am I saying? Barring the fact if I repair or not. So yeah, very tenuous type of fight. Get too close and the line bites my arm off is the moral of that story, especially with Novacans. I was kind of in the prime firing arc for those Nova cannons to hit me with really deadly accuracy too, which is probably why it took so much damage. I didn't really consider the fact until later I didn't even have lances, so I could have just stayed outside of 12,000 units, yards, whatever you want to call it, to basically increase the scatter of those Nova cannons. That would have been the better idea. Again, very uneventful battle visually, but very tense, because one screw up trying to get over-eagered would have got me murdered horribly fast. And let's see, that's another success. I'm happy with that. And I look forward to continuing on this with more Space Marine carnage. And gain level 3 for a 4th light cruiser, which I'll have to pick another Mark II there, because these lances I'm sure are going to be really damn useful for dealing with Space Marines. Negating its armor, and if I upgrade to increase damage on shields as an additional bonus to keep punching it down